Graduates, faculty, and honored guests, please welcome Dean Amitabh Varshney and the members of his platform party to the stage. Please sit down. Presiding over these ceremonies is Dr. Amitabh Varshney, Dean of the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences.
All right, everyone's ready? Graduates, graduates, faculty and staff members, families and friends, welcome to the University of Maryland's College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences 2026 doctoral ceremony. All right. Today, we proudly honor our graduates receiving doctoral degrees in August 2025, December 2025, and May 2026. Graduates, we commend you on earning a doctoral degree from the University of Maryland. This is a remarkable achievement. Reaching this milestone at our flagship university in these rigorous and demanding disciplines means you have challenged yourselves to grow, to persevere, and to expand your knowledge, skills, and abilities in different ways. You are a testament to the power of science, discovery, and learning. Here, you have learned how to apply your knowledge to complex problems, how to collaborate with others, and how to turn ideas into impact. At a moment when our world faces profound scientific and technological challenges, your training, insight, and creativity have never been more essential. Your work lies at the heart of progress. And that is exactly what the society needs today. Thank you. As you enter your next chapter, let your curiosity guide you and your passion for discovery shine. Go fearlessly forward and show the world what it means to be a graduate of the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences. And remember, you are not alone. As you walk across the stage today, you join a global community of over 60,000 science terps who have dedicated their lives to advancing knowledge and improving the world around them. One of those science terps is our keynote speaker today, Dr. Susan Gregurick. Dr. Gregurick earned her Ph.D. in chemistry here at the University of Maryland in 1995. She has gone on to a successful career in both academia and government. She started out as a professor of computational chemistry at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Then, Dr. Gregurick worked at the Department of Energy, followed by serving as the director of the Division of Biophysics, Biomedical Technology, and Computational Biosciences at the National Institute of General Medical Sciences. Dr. Gregurick is currently the Associate Director for Data Science and Director of the Office of Data Science Strategy at the NIH, where she orchestrates the Institute's efforts to harness high-performance computing, data science, and AI for human health. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gregurick to the podium.
Welcome, and congratulations, colleagues. Today, you stand among the rare few you have earned a doctorate degree. This is much more than a piece of paper. It is a lasting manifestation of your accomplishments that you will always carry with you. You made it here today, to this point in your life. You may have endured long days in the lab, or late nights working through theories and equations, or headaches in reconciling complex results that just didn't make any sense. I can imagine there have been some sleepless nights, and you've chosen contemplative scholarship rather than an abundance of free time. I know that when I was a graduate student here, I made a lot of poor dietary choices, and perhaps you did too. Today, you stand ready to accept the accolades and recognition from your professors, your peers, and your family. And you have certainly earned all of the congratulations and honors that are awarded to you. The University of Maryland's College of Computer, Mathematics, and Natural Sciences has a reputation for excellence by preparing you to ask difficult questions, pursue meaningful discoveries, and apply your expertise in ways that strengthen science, society, and the public good. I believe that you will live up to this statement, and I want to offer you a perspective for your consideration as you move on to your next adventure. My perspective has three main themes, namely, failure will happen, let it be your teacher, be a lifelong learner, and what does success look like? Failure, I know it so well. Today, perhaps it is hard to imagine that there will be a time in your life when you will fail. You may apply for a grant, or go up for a promotion, or make a pitch to leadership about a brilliant breakthrough idea that may be met with, well, results that are less than positive. Everyone experiences failure at some point in their career, and to fail means that you are engaging in something that's risky, it's new, it's novel, and it could lead to success in the future. I've had plenty of failures in my career, and each one was seemingly painful at the time. I think my biggest failure was being denied tenure. For me, it ended a lifelong dream of teaching and academic scholarship in a field of science that I truly love. Failure can shatter your dreams if you let it. What is important is what happens next, and it may take a while. For me, my failure was an opportunity that I was not looking for or looking forward to. I was lying on my couch and contemplating the decisions and actions that ultimately led to my failure, and it forced me to look at what I like to do and what I'm really good at doing. Failure strips away illusions, it reveals weaknesses, and it can clarify you to consider what is your purpose. Failure also offers you an opportunity to take a different path. It frees your mind to consider alternatives that you may not have otherwise considered. For me, the failure of my academic career allowed me to explore an opportunity in federal service that I would not have otherwise considered. Time and again, I have learned through failure how to be successful, how to take advantage of my strengths, improve my weaknesses, and how to recognize new opportunities. Let your failure be a teacher, because failure teaches you so much more than a success can. Be a lifelong learner. I don't know if this is true for you, but I absolutely love to learn. I love sitting in class, taking notes, actively thinking about the topic, working through the problem sets, and yes, I love taking exams. The same was true when I was a professor. I love preparing class lectures, thinking up interesting problem sets, and creating tests that would offer students to illustrate their creativity as well as their mastery of the subject. One of the best things about the University of Maryland's graduate program is the training you receive in asking good questions. Okay, that seems a little basic, but curiosity is a match that sets off the fires of learning, and learning is an opening of your mind. When I left my academic career to go into federal services, one of the areas I chose to work in was bioenergy, specifically plant and microbial bioenergy. Okay, mind you, I am not an expert in plant and microbial science, let alone in the complexities of producing biofuels from microbial digestion of plant cellulose and lignin. Fun fact about plants, plants can be diploid, triploid, or tetraploid, meaning that they have 2, 3, or 4 chromosomes, which give rise to really interesting characteristics like faster growth, larger leaves, and higher biomass for biofuels. My early failure put me on a career path to learn and develop computational opportunities to enhance biofuel production. This was a great opportunity to read new journals, talk to new researchers, and attend new conferences. You don't need to wait for a big career change to begin learning something new. Be a continuous learner. Read articles that are outside of your chosen field. Attend lectures and talk with colleagues who bring new ideas into your worldview. Why am I stressing this? Because the world is changing fast, and having an adaptable knowledge base and mind means that you're flexible. You can pull in ideas from across different domains and use those ideas to develop new skills. Make reading, learning, listening, and reflection your lifelong practice. I set aside time each day to do so. In fact, last month I was reading a great article about the resurgence of bluefin tuna in the Atlantic. Due to better fish management and through 3 decades of geotagging of tuna. Geotagging of data is important for me, actually, because I need to build programs in real-world data that include environmental effects and where you live and how you shift around, because people do move around a lot, plays an important role in the development of chronic disease. Combining different ideas from different fields is a pretty good tool to have in your toolbox. So stay curious, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid of unfamiliar subjects. So what does success look like? I ask this question often in my daily work. As a leader, it's a really good idea to first ask the question, what's the problem I'm trying to solve, and what is the impact of my work now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? While you're thinking about that question, I'd like to give you my own personal view on success through a few short examples. Okay, when I was a professor, I taught a class in physical chemistry that was mainly for the pre-med students. It was called Physical Chemistry for Biochemical Sciences. I can tell you, not many of those students were very excited about that required topic. However, I was super excited to make this class relevant to these students. I would augment book reading with current journal articles that would illustrate the textbook concepts in real research environments. One year, I had a student who was an excellent overall student, but he actually struggled in this class. I took time to work with him, helping him understand seemingly theoretical concepts and how they would apply in real biology, and it was my time well spent. He was on a pre-med track and did well in the class. Okay, fast forward 10 years from then, and we're hiring a new program director at the National Institutes of Health. Guess who that new program director was? It was him. He remembered me. He remembered the time I spent with him. He even remembered details of the harmonic oscillator. Impact. About 5 years ago, I hired a fantastic mathematician and computer scientist. She was super talented and noticed that our current artificial intelligence programs at the National Institutes of Health were, well, they were somewhat outdated. She did considerable background work, pulled together a team, developed a detailed plan for 2 new programs in AI. One program was to build AI capacity across the United States. It's called Aim Ahead. The other program was a multimodal AI program that integrated bioethics into the development of AI models. I provided her with the resources, I mentored her to develop these programs, and ultimately, I provided the funds so that she could fund awards in these 2 new programs. Her impact cannot be understated. There are over 1,400 institutions working together on AI capacity building, training, and model development to help address chronic disease in underserved populations. I am really proud to tell you that today she is the Chief Data Officer at a Department of Energy national lab. Impact. Finally, and this is my last example, and it's a little bit more personal, there was a University of Maryland undergraduate student who was pretty solid in his classes, but not necessarily an all-A student. He desired to work in a research lab because he knew his passion was experimental, organic, and biochemistry. Many folks would probably not agree to take an undergraduate student with limited laboratory experience into their lab. However, Dr. Ji-Woo Lee took the student into his lab where he got excellent mentorship and real hands-on research experience from Dr. Shane Collins, who is here today. That kid went on to work for a small startup company and is now an incoming biochemistry graduate student this fall at the University of Maryland. Impact. What I hope you see from these stories is that if you measure your success by the impact it has on the lives of others, you will touch many lives and leave a lasting impression. During your career, you're probably going to publish important papers. You may invent amazing technologies. You may heal people, and/or you may gain significant financial compensation. Perhaps one day you too will come back here and speak at a future commencement ceremony. I certainly hope so. However, if you set as one of your North Stars to impact the lives of others by giving of your time, your energy, and your resources, you will create a living legacy that will be an impact of your work. In closing, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. And may you always, always meet with success. Thank you, Millard Alexander, for your impact. And congratulations, graduates.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gregurick, for these inspiring remarks. And now I would like to present a small token of appreciation from all of us in the college to Dr. Gregurick. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dr. Leslie Pick, Associate Dean for Graduate Education, will introduce the Doctoral Student Commencement speaker.
It is my honor to introduce our student speaker, Pooja Guhan. Dr. Guhan graduated with a Ph.D. in computer science in August 2025. Advised by distinguished university professor Dinesh Monaka, her dissertation focused on developing artificial intelligence-driven algorithms for contextual video editing. She presented her research at numerous conferences and gained industry experience through research internships at Dolby Laboratories, Adobe Research, and IBM research, where her work led to patents and publications. Pooja is currently a senior researcher at Dolby Laboratories in Atlanta, where she focuses on 3D modeling and video enhancement for next-generation media systems. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Guhan to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. To the doctoral graduates, families, mentors, and everyone who listened to us explain our research over the years, thank you. Thank you for being here today. A PhD takes a long time to complete, long enough for trends to change, software to update, and for our families to stop asking when you'll finish. So, as a senior researcher, I did what any self-respecting researcher would do. I ran the numbers. I tried to calculate how many of those days did I know what I was actually doing. After careful analysis, maybe 200, 300. The rest of the time was a rotating playlist of, why did this break? That makes no sense. And my personal favorite, it worked yesterday. Sounds familiar? Just like this cap that refuses to stay in place, our journeys have been anything but predictable. When we began, the plan was simple. Step 1, choose a thesis topic. Step 2, work hard and write papers. Step 3, publish and graduate. Very logistic, very optimistic. But quickly we learned that progress rarely follows neat steps. It's not step 2 that follows step 1. It is step 1, then step 1 again, then step 1 with new bugs, then step 1 after deleting everything you wrote last week, and then suddenly at 2 a.m. in the morning, we are at step 2. So this is because research doesn't move in straight lines. It moves in cycles of failure, confusion, stubborn persistence, and the rare moment when something suddenly clicks and you pretend like you always understood it. And somehow, through it all, we stayed. Not because, it was easy, but because we were too curious to quit. Something along the way changed. We stopped expecting clarity before action. We learned what every PhD student eventually learns in practice, if not in theory, that messiness isn't a detour. It's progress in action. In fact, in preparing for today, I asked some fellow graduates about their most meaningful moments from their journey. Not one mentioned awards, papers, or titles. They spoke about moments when they asked for help and received kindness in return. A conversation that completely changed their direction. A failed experiment that revealed a new question. A day they almost quit, but didn't. And a mentor who reminded them that they belonged here. And what struck me is that the moments that shaped us most were not the moments that we always planned for. They were quiet, unpublished, unarchived, but they were the ones that changed us more than any result ever could. The world outside this room will not wait for us to get ready. Good, neither did research. Because doing it consistently, stubbornly across thousands of days, uncertain days, takes something more than intelligence. It requires courage, not the dramatic kind, the everyday kind. The courage to try again after failure. The courage to restart an experiment after secretly wishing for an overnight miracle. The courage to sit with not knowing and not leaving. The courage to believe a reviewer might be right. Each of us have practiced this courage more times than we could ask for. And yes, we've all heard that quiet voice at some point. Maybe this is too hard. Maybe you're not ready. But yet, we showed up again and tried again, and went on to do it, and we prove ourselves. But we did not do it alone. No one earns their PhD in isolation. Look around this room. Behind every breakthrough is a village of people who held the ladder while we reached for the unknown. Our advisors, who challenged us more than we wanted, but exactly as much as we needed. Our collaborators, who made the impossible feel doable. Friends who became emergency response teams for broken code, broken sleep schedules, and some often broken sense of direction. And our families, who continued to support us even when they had absolutely no idea what we were up to. Some helped us simply by believing in us when we didn't have the bandwidth to believe in ourselves. This degree has our names, but it belongs to all of you. As we step out of here and step into a world that's not slowing down, technologies will change, fields will transform, and the questions that matter the most today may not even exist yet. But that's not an unfamiliar territory for us. We have spent years living in uncertainty long before it became a buzzword. We've learned to build clarity from confusion, direction from ambiguity, and progress from repeated failures. And if there's one thing that this journey has proven, it is this. We are not intimidated by not knowing. We are trained by it. That is why we are ready for whatever comes next. And around here, we have a name for such kind of resilience. We call ourselves the Fearless Terps. So today, we can proudly say that we've earned that name. So, classes of 2025 and 2026, don't wait for certainty, build it. The future that we once only imagined is already taking shape through what you do next. And when doubt says, you can't, remember this moment. Remember everyone who helped you get here and answer it with everything you've already proven, yes, I can. So congratulations to the classes of 2025 and 2026. May we move forward with curiosity, courage, and the confidence to turn the unknown into discovery. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja, for your message of curiosity, courage, fearlessness. And now, I'm quite sure you will go from success to success as you go through your professional life as well as through your career. So please accept this token of appreciation from all of us in the college.
Will the Ph.D. recipients from the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences please rise? By accepting the faculty's recommendation as presented by the Associate Dean, the Dean will recognize the candidates as having completed all degree requirements.
Dean Varshney, in accordance with the recommendations of the faculty in the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences, I request that you recognize those graduates who have successfully completed all requirements for the Doctor of Philosophy.
I am pleased to accept the faculty's recommendation, and I am honored to recognize those graduates who have successfully completed all the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy.
Will the audience please join the Dean and the faculty in congratulating the August 2025, December 2025, and May 2026 doctoral degree recipients of the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences. Graduates, please be seated. Ph.D. graduates of academic programs in the college will now receive congratulations from the Dean, the Associate Dean, the Department Chair or Program Director, and be hooded by their advisor. Graduates, as you come up, please whisper your name so I can get it right. Doctors Doran Levy and Radu Balin will present the graduates from Applied Mathematics and Statistics and Scientific Computation. Philip Charles, to be hooded by Deep Ray. His dissertation, Judicious Integration of Deep Learning for Solving Partial Differential Equations. Jarshin Margot Guhan, to be hooded by Maria Cameron. Her dissertation, Data-Driven Methods for Accelerating the Simulation of Rare Transitions in Molecular Dynamics. Maeve Wilds, to be hooded by Radu Balin. Her dissertation, Age-Structured Tumor Growth Models. Shashank Sule, to be hooded by Maria Cameron. His dissertation, Learning Structures in Scientific Data. Doctors Andrew Harris and Derek Richardson will present the graduates from astronomy. Arjun McDaniel Savell, to be hooded by Derek Richardson. His dissertation, Leaving Flatland Toward 3D Inference of Exoplanet Atmospheres via Spectroscopic Characterization. Joseph DiMartini, to be hooded by Dr. Derek Richardson. His dissertation, Modeling Granular Mechanics on Low-Gravity Planetary Bodies. Dr. Sumant Nigam and Jonathan Potterjoy will present the graduates from Atmospheric and Oceanic Science. Natalia Roldan Anau, to be hooded by Zhangqing Li. Her dissertation, Exploring Cloud Planetary Boundary Layer Coupling over Land, Variability, Climatology, and Impact on Aerosol Cloud Interactions. Hannah Daly, to be hooded by Russell Dickerson. Her dissertation, Characterizing Emissions from Oil and Gas Operations and Wildfires using Aircraft Observations. Henry Hausman, to be hooded by Sumant Nigam. His dissertation, Projections of Mangrove Salt Marsh and Oyster Reef Viability in the U.S. East Coast and Their Role in Coastal Defense. Akanksha Singh, to be hooded by Timothy Canty. Her dissertation, Characterizing Near-Surface Ozone Across the United States, Production Regimes, Precursor Monitoring, and Model Evaluation. Abby Siebel, to be hooded by Timothy Canty. Her dissertation, Exploring Urban Tropospheric Ozone and Its Precursors Using Airborne Observations and Chemical Modeling. Marissa Datler, to be hooded by Tim Canty. Her dissertation, Observing Surface Properties of Ice Sheets from Satellite and Airborne Remote Sensing. Sean Eisner, to be hooded by James Carton. His dissertation, A New Northwest Passage, Tracing Atlantification through the Amerasian Arctic. Jairon Perez Carrasquilla, to be hooded by Maria Molina. His dissertation, Unveiling the Precursors and Trends of North American Weather Regimes with Machine Learning. Doctors Dan Falvey, Efren Rodriguez, and Paul Buxtelas will present the graduates from biochemistry. Frances Stump, to be hooded by Theodore Kwakudai. Her dissertation, Those Who Know Do, Those Who Understand Teach, a comprehensive study and practicum on the structure, thermal stability, and dynamics of RNA molecules. Rita Dill, to be hooded by Theodore Kwakudai. Her dissertation, Structural Dynamics of Two Fragment Sequences from Bacteria and Viral RNAs. Lily Petrie, to be hooded by Theodore Kwakudai. Her dissertation, No protons were harmed in the making of this thesis. Selective 15M and 2H isotopic labeling and NMR relaxation experiments. Stephen Hong, to be hooded by Miles Poland. His dissertation, Investigation of poly-N-acetylglucosamine biosynthesis initiation and spatial distribution in bacterial biofilms through microfluidic fluorescent microscopy. Shane Collins, to be hooded by Jinwoo Lee. His dissertation, Unlocking the Significance of the Stable Signal Peptide, a vital component of Lassa virus membrane fusion. Doctors Evan Economo, Kevin McKeever, Joshua Singer will present the graduates from biological sciences. Lindsay Markowitz, to be hooded by J.D. Evans. Her dissertation, Of Germs and Bugs, Ecological and Genetic Approaches of Disentangling Symbiosis in a Honeybee Parasite System. Aurelie Nyongabo, to be hooded by Gilad Ofek. Her dissertation, Structural and Immunogenetic Determinants of Antibody Recognition of Viral Glycoproteins in Vaccination and Natural Infection. Damani Eubanks, to be hooded by Daniel Gruner. His dissertation, Forecasting Forest Health, Building a Quantitative Bayesian Modeling Approach. Aishwarya Satya, to be hooded by Anthony Jose. Her dissertation, Endogenous Roles of Import of Double-Stranded RNA During Development in C. elegans. Sylvester Gates, to be hooded by Wolfgang Lozert. His dissertation, Tuning and Testing Developing Neural Networks. Chinyi Zhu, to be hooded by Sean Riley. Her dissertation, Rickettsia Modulation of Host Physiology of Intracellular Inhabitation. Teresa Mena, to be hooded by Megan Fritz. Her dissertation, The Genetic Basis of Host Preference for Culex pipiens Assemblage Members, Global Vectors of Mosquito-Borne Disease. Maren McConnell, to be hooded by Dan Gruner. Her dissertation, Quantitative Modeling Across Scales, Behavior, Demography, and Trophic Interactions in Population and Ecosystem Dynamics. Stephanie Chia, to be hooded by Dan Gruner. Her dissertation, Data-Driven Insights into Constraints Shaping Ecological, Evolutionary, and Human-Managed Systems. Guanchao Ding, to be hooded by Kevin McKeever. His dissertation, Characterization of Programmed Cell Death Pathways Activated in Mycobacterium Tuberculosis, Infected THP1 cells and human monocyte-derived macrophages. Sahana Kumar, to be hooded by Greg Duncan. Her dissertation, Airway Mucins as Determinants and Therapeutic Targets of Mucus Dysfunction in Asthma. Melissa Perry, to be hooded by Iqbal Hamza. Her dissertation, Heme Dysregulation Links Hemoglobinopathies to Visceral Leishmaniasis Susceptibility. Dr. Wendell Hill will present the graduates from Chemical Physics. Dong Yun Shin, to be hooded by Yu Huang Wang. His dissertation, Ion Trapping and Electric Field Control of Excitonic States in Quantum Defect Tailored Single-Walled Carbon Nanotubes. Jessica Bodosa, to be hooded by Jeffrey Clouda. Her dissertation, Thermodynamic Insights in Protein, Lipid, and Small Molecule Interactions at the Cell Surface using Molecular Dynamics. Grishma Shivali Oroganti, to be hooded by Christopher Jasinski. Her dissertation, Bridging Quantum Thermodynamics, Gauge Theories, and Quantum Simulations. Smithran Ravichandran, to be hooded by Wendell T. Hill III. His dissertation, Relativistic Electron Dynamics in Petawatt Laser Fields with Applications to Fundamental Measurements. Whoops. Sorry. Jingchen Zhang, to be hooded by Paul Julian. His dissertation, Preparation of Ground State Ultra-Cold Lithium Dimers and Coherent Control of Their Reactions, a Theoretical Study. Sorry, I dropped that. Doctors Dan Falvey, Efrain Rodriguez, and Mike Shi will present the graduates from chemistry. Iona Goswami, to be hooded by Lyle Isaacs. Her dissertation, Synthesis of Sulfated Pilar N. Aranus, Influence of Charge, Shape, and Size on Molecular Recognition. George Caceres, to be hooded by Daniel Falvey. His dissertation, Developing Single Particle Inductively Coupled Plasma Mass Spectrometry as a Technique to Advance Microplastics Analysis Capabilities. Zihan Sun, to be hooded by Daniel Falvey. His dissertation, Electrochemical Phase Engineering and Three-Dimensional Nanopore Architectures for Advanced Sodium-Ion Microbattery Systems. Sarishi Leonareci, to be hooded by Miles B. Poulin. Her dissertation, Using Biofilm Exopolysaccharide Hydrolase Enzymes as Investigative Tools to Decipher the Role of Exopolysaccharides in Biofilm Formation. Endra Zoltan Farago, to be hooded by Ross Salowich. His dissertation, Analysis of Recent Trends in Global Mean Surface Temperature, Implications for Achieving the Paris Agreement, and Quantification of the Role of Maritime Emissions on Global Warming. Aisha Ashfaq, to be hooded by Mohammed Al-Shakli. Her dissertation, Radiation-Induced Synthesis of Polyacrylic Acid, Alumina Nanogel Composites for Chloride Binding and Nanoparticle Stabilization in Cementitious Systems. Mario Lopez, to be hooded by Efrain Rodriguez. His dissertation, Modeling Magnetic Structure in 2D van der Waals Materials with Neutron Diffraction. Stephanie Hong, to be hooded by Efrain Rodriguez. Her dissertation, Correlating Crystal Structure and Oxygen Storage Properties in Mixed Metal Layered Oxides. Hector Sain Mandukhana Canales, to be hooded by Efrain Rodriguez. His dissertation, Site and Symmetry Defined Magnetic Ground States of Intercalated Divalent Transition Metal Diselenides. Huafei Chung, to be hooded by Efrain Rodriguez. His dissertation, Asymmetric Intercalation into Transition Metal Chalcogenides. Very good.
Brendan Kuzminski, like your cousin, Kuzminski. But on my hooder, it won't be here, so I'll be being hooded by Ephraim as well.
Okay. Brendan Kuzminski, to be hooded by Efrain Rodriguez. His dissertation, Next Generation Living Coordinative Chain Transfer Polymerization for Functional Materials and Molecules. All of them are hooding? Just these two. Alex Compion, to be hooded by Jason Kahn and William Bentley. His dissertation, Engineered Redox Switch for Controlled Molecular Composition of Phenazines. Sungyup Lee, to be hooded by Yu Huang Wang. His dissertation, Programmable Quantum Defects for Molecularly Selective Near-Infrared Nanosensing Platforms. Jo Sun Oh, to be hooded by Mercedes Taylor. Her dissertation, Self-Assembly Drives Rare Earth Separations, M4L4 Cages, and Polyamide Ionomer Networks. Fei Zhou, to be hooded by Peter Nemes. Her dissertation, Subcellular Mass Spectrometry Proteomics for Cell Differentiation. Dr. Matthias Zwicker will present the graduates from computer science. Molly Schickman, to be hooded by Rachel Rudinger. Advancing Object Understanding in Large Language Models. Kevin Zhang, to be hooded by Christopher Metzler. 3D reconstruction in challenging environments. Hadi Alzair, to be hooded by Jiabin Huang. His dissertation, Learning from Hidden Signals in Visual Data. Saeed Hadadan, to be hooded by Matthias Zwicker. His dissertation, Towards Inverse Rendering with Global Illumination. Irtaza Shahid, to be hooded by Nirupam Roy. His dissertation, Human-Centric Acoustics, the Interplay of Opportunities and Security. Daniel Smoliak, to be hooded by Vanessa Frias Martinez. His dissertation, Identifying and Mitigating Bias in Machine Learning for Healthcare. Saad Mohammed Abrar, to be hooded by Vanessa Frias Martinez. His dissertation, Data-Driven Decision-Making for Societal Systems, Auditing Mobility, Contextual Data, and Models for High-Stakes Applications. Nicole Schneider, to be hooded by Hanan Samet. His dissertation, her dissertation, Spatial Reasoning Through Artificial Intelligence. Shamila Venkata Satya Dupala, to be hooded by Aravind Srinivasan. Her dissertation, Algorithmic Fairness and Online Decision-Making in Combinatorial Optimization and Unsupervised Learning. Peter Suter, to be hooded by Yanis Alimoinis. His dissertation, Hyperdimensional Computing for Artificial Intelligence. Angelos Mavrogiannis, to be hooded by Yanis Alimoinis. His dissertation, Translating Natural Language to Visually Grounded Verifiable Plans. Aditya Acharya, to be hooded by David Mount. His dissertation, Efficient Geometric Algorithms for Stochastic and Categorical Data. Vinu Shankar Sadashivan, to be hooded by Sohail Faizi. His dissertation, Robustness, Detectability, and Data Privacy in AI. Gaurang Sri Ramanan, to be hooded by Sohail Faizi. His dissertation, Safety, Robustness, and Reliability of AI. Wenshao Wang, to be hooded by Sohail Faizi. His dissertation, Towards Reliable Agentic LLMs. Yulin Liu, to be hooded by Matthias Zwicker. Her dissertation, Studying Tumor Evolution with Emerging Sequencing Technologies. Sana Madan, to be hooded by Matthias Zwicker. Her dissertation, Computational Methods for Identifying Single and Combinatorial CAR T-cell targets from single-cell transcriptomics data. David Chan, to be hooded by Dana Now. Dissertation, Goal Decomposition for Probabilistic Planning. Jaya Wu, to be hooded by David Jacobs. Her dissertation, Solving the Data Problem of Inverse Rendering. Philip Pope, to be hooded by David Jacobs. His dissertation, Speeding Up Density Functional Theory Calculations with Machine Learning, a Density Learning Approach. Did I say that right? Joshua Davis, to be hooded by Abhinav Bateli. His dissertation, LLM-driven development of portable and performant GPU codes. Joy Kitson, to be hooded by Abhinav Bateli. Her dissertation, Scaling Agent-Based Epidemic Diffusion on HPC Clusters. Owner Jonker, to be hooded by Abhinav Batili. His dissertation, Longitudinal Data and Analytics of HPC Systems and Applications. Kayan Shu, to be hooded by Matthias Zwicker. Her dissertation, Limitations of Quantum Methods for Breaking Cryptography and Optimization.
So I have 7 students.
Okay.
Dinesh Manocha.
Dinesh Manocha.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. James Mullen? James Mullen, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. His dissertation, Enabling Soft Robotic Companions Through Human-Aware Simulation, Natural Communication, and Emergency Response. Chanru Guhan, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. His dissertation, Small and Large Perception Models for Robotic Navigation. Shiju Wang, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. His dissertation, Towards Effective and Efficient Video Understanding. Gonsun Lee, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. Her dissertation, Augmenting Communication in Extended Reality Through Multimodal Systems for Humans and Agents. Jae-Hoon Choi, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. His dissertation, Photorealistic 3D Mapping of Real-World Scenes, Methods and Applications. Pooja Guhan, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha. Her dissertation, Context-Aware Computational Video Editing and Re-Editing. Shriyan Ghosh, to be hooded by Dinesh Manocha and Ramani Duraswamy. His dissertation, Advancing Audio Processing in the Age of Large Language Models. Nolan Coble, to be hooded by Alexander Barg. His dissertation, New Directions from Old Codes. Suhu Shin, to be hooded by Matthias Zwicker. His dissertation, Algorithmic Delegation from Classic Auctions to Modern Digital Economy. Sangchan Sun, to be hooded by Ming Lin. His dissertation, Differentiable Systems for Efficient Optimization and Learning, from Kinematics to Geometry. Yuran Ding, to be hooded by Ming Lin. Her dissertation, Mediating Complexity, Reasoning Layers from Embodied Interaction to Agentic Systems. Laura Zhang, to be hooded by Ming Lin. Her dissertation, Modeling Traffic Dynamics, Human Factors, and Sensitivity for Generalization in Autonomous Driving. Zhayu Yan, to be hooded by Huaishu Peng. His dissertation, Towards Sustainable Electronics Through Computational Refabrication. Shayu Huang, to be hooded by Abhinav Srivastava. Her dissertation, Learning Structured Alignment from Visual Understanding to Robot Control. Hanyu Wang, to be hooded by Abhinav Srivastava. His dissertation, Generating Visual Content from Pixel Orders to Videos and Beyond. Shishira R. Maya, to be hooded by Abhinav Srivastava. His dissertation, Neural Networks as Databases from Data to Model Compression. Yishan Ren, to be hooded by Abhinav Srivastava. His dissertation, Toward Adaptive and Efficient Synthesis of Appearance, Dynamics, and Semantics. Shuong Huyn, to be hooded by Abhinav Srivastava. His dissertation, Interactive Vision Systems with Visual and Textual Prompts. John Kirschenbauer, to be hooded by Thomas Aaron Goldstein. His dissertation, Enhancing Trust and Transparency in Language Model Development and Deployment. Yuxin Wen, to be hooded by Tom Goldstein. His dissertation, Towards Private and Trustworthy Generative Models. Neil Jane, to be hooded by Thomas Goldstein. His dissertation, Designing and Evaluating Capable, Safe, and Trustworthy Generative AI Systems. Alexander Stein, to be hooded by Thomas Goldstein. His dissertation, Adapting Next Token Prediction, New Domains, Efficient Training, and Real-World Applications. Saptarashmi Bandopattai, to be hooded by Tom Goldstein. His dissertation, Multi-Agent Automors, Decision-Making in Artificial Intelligence. Chen Chen, to be hooded by Liu Jisheng Liu. His dissertation, Unlocking Tool-Agnostic Visualization Applications Through Fine-Grained Computational Representations. Hana Bako, to be hooded by Shisheng Liu. Her dissertation, Example-Aided Design, Supporting Visualization, Ideation, and Implementation. Kazi Zina, to be hooded by Jisheng Liu. Her dissertation, Beyond Domain Boundaries, Enhancing the Generalizability of Event Sequence Analytics. Sneha Gatani, to be hooded by Shisheng Liu. Her dissertation, Empowering Business Professionals with Interactive What-If Analysis from Conceptual Framework to LLM-Powered Automation. Michael Andre Panaitescu Lis, to be hooded by Furong Huang. His dissertation, Understanding and Connecting Fairness, Copyright, and Watermarking Through a Security Lens. Oops. Hi. Shoradip Chakraborty, to be hooded by Furong Huang. His dissertation, Principled Frameworks for AI Alignment from Post-Training to Inference. Rachia Chung, to be hooded by Furong Huang. His dissertation, Towards Generalist Embodied Agents via Representation Learning. Pai Hong Yu, to be hooded by Pratap Tokakar. Her dissertation, Learning with Less Effort, Efficient Training and Generalization in Multi-Robot Systems. Doctors Evan Economo and Dan Gruner will present the graduates from entomology. Thais Matosa de Andrade Ribeiro, to be hooded by Dr. Anahi Espindola. Her dissertation, Biotic and Abiotic Drivers of Diversification in the Oil-Collecting Bee Genus Calopogenus Apidae tapino di ni. Doctors James Farquhar and Vedran Lekic will present the graduates from geology. Aisha Salim Khatib, to be hooded by Nicholas Schmer. Her dissertation, Newly Identified Events and Signals of Astronaut Exploration Activities in the Apollo Seismic Data. Doctors Doran Levy and Li Shen Lin will present the graduates from mathematical statistics. Tong Chi, to be hooded by Vince Lizinski. Her dissertation, Network Alignment and Structured Signals in Random Graphs. Amandeep Chanda, to be hooded by Eric Sludd. His dissertation, Survival Analysis Tools and Stochastic Optimization Methods for Designing Group Sequential Clinical Trials. Shi Tao Fan, to be hooded by Lisan Lin. His dissertation, Adaptation, Uncertainty, Quantification, and Amortization in Variational Bias. Doctors Doran Levy and Radu Balin will present the graduates from mathematics. Chi Hong Lee, to be hooded by Thomas Haynes. His dissertation, The Test Function Conjecture for Pro-P Iwahori Local Models of General Linear Groups and General Symplectic Groups. Weimin Zhang, to be hooded by Thomas Haynes. His dissertation, Base Change Fundamental Lemma for Central Elements in Depth Zero Heck Algebras over Local Function Fields. Kiona Lin, to be hooded by Doran Levy. Her dissertation, Age-Structured Models of Tumor Growth and Evolution of Drug Resistance. Okay, how do you say it first? Favas Cananis, to be hooded by Lawrence Washington. His dissertation, on the cyclotomic Iwasawa invariance of elliptic curves. Here, he needs a card. Brandon Kolstow, to be hooded by Wojciech Jaya. His dissertation, Generalized Scattering Transforms, Stationarity, Inversion, and Applications. Okay, now we're good. Alexander Suarez Beard, to be hooded by Lawrence Washington. Dr. Josh Singer will present the graduates from Neuroscience and Cognitive Science. Morgan Musgrove, to be hooded by Joshua Singer. Her dissertation, Compartmentalization of Action Potential Propagation in a Polyaxonal amacrine Cell in the Mouse Retina. Tarlin Vatan, to be hooded by Colenso Spear. Her dissertation, Visualizing synaptic competition, molecular and structural remodeling in the developing visual system. Drs. Steve Ralston and Alberto Bolini will present the graduates from physics. Eric Huang, to be hooded by Michael Gullens. His dissertation, Transversal Non-Clifford Logical Gates for Quantum Error Correcting Codes. Srilekha Gandhari. Srilekha Gandhari, to be hooded by Michael Gullens. Her dissertation, Characterizing Quantum States and Dynamics. Michael Kwan, to be hooded by Ido Wax. His dissertation, Trapped Ions and Quantum Frequency Conversion for Long-Distance Quantum Networks. Richard Barney, to be hooded by Clark Ridge. His dissertation, Spin Glass Theory and its Applications to Learning in Classical and Quantum Neural Networks. Christos Papageorgakis, to be hooded by Sarah Eno. His dissertation, Search for Soft Unclustered Energy Patterns at the Large Hadron Collider and Studies of Radiation Damage in Plastic Scintillators. Bihan Shen, to be hooded by Brian Humensky. Her dissertation, a case study of very high energy gamma ray emission from galactic supernova remnant with Veritas Gamma Cygni. Jinchen He, to be hooded by Stephen Ralston. His dissertation, Towards Precision-Controlled Partonic Structures from First Principles. Yushan Xu, to be hooded by Stephen Ralston. His dissertation, precision calculations of parton physics under large momentum effective theory. Long Him Chung, to be hooded by Christopher Jarzynski. His dissertation, Stochastic Dynamics and Fluctuation Theorems in Brownian Feedback-Controlled and Optical Cavity Systems. Nathaniel Barber, to be hooded by Steve Ralston. His dissertation, Acceleration of Kinetic Plasma Simulations Using Data-Driven Methods. Zachary Metzler, to be hooded by Regina Caputo. His dissertation, Development of the Compare Balloon Mission Anti-Coincidence Detector and High-Altitude Background Analysis Pipeline and Multi-Messenger Studies of Pulsar Systems. There you go. Nathan Folk? Yes. Nathan Folk, to be hooded by William Cameron Casper. His dissertation, Characterization of Current Spin Qubit Devices and a Proposed New Qubit Design. Shannon Gray, to be hooded by Gregory Sullivan. Their dissertation, Search for Neutrinos Correlated with Tidal Disruption Events in Ice Cube. Catherine Sturge, to be hooded by Timothy Koth. Her dissertation, Dynamics of Fast Electrical Breakdown in Electron-Charged Polymethyl methacrylate. Dhruv Devalapalli, to be hooded by Andrew Childs and Alexei Gorshkov. His dissertation, Locality and Complexity in Quantum Information Dynamics. Will the audience please join the Dean and the faculty in congratulating the August 2025, December 2025, and May 2026 doctoral recipients. Dean Amitabh Varshney.
I love the energy. Graduates, we are incredibly proud of you. It has been our honor to play a role in preparing you for the successes that lie ahead. Today, you received a small gift from our college, a science turp tumbler. We hope you will use it with pride and that it serves a reminder that you will always be a science terp for life. At this time, I would like to ask all family members and friends of our graduates to please stand. Graduates, you did not reach this moment alone. Please stand and join me in recognizing and thanking all those who supported you, encouraged you, and believed in you every step of the way. Thank you. Please be seated. As you all exit the armory today, I hope you will join me outside for a reception. I love meeting the parents, families, and friends who helped these graduates accomplish so much during their time here. In my 25 years as faculty member here at the University of Maryland, I've had the privilege of meeting many alumni. And no matter how far their paths take them, they always tell me how much this university and this college continues to mean to them long after graduation. I have a strong feeling the same will be true for all of you. As you take the next steps in life, remember, you will always have a home here in our college. Come back often. Stay connected. We will always be proud of everything you accomplish. Congratulations to the classes of 2025 and 2026.
Will the audience and graduates please rise? Please remain standing and remain in place for the recessional, which will be led by the platform party, followed by the graduates. Families and friends are invited to join the graduates in front of the Armory steps for a reception hosted by the Dean. You're the boss.